Please give Ida a big round of applause. Thank you. That was really good. Thank you. I hope she doesn't mind me saying, but I was a little nervous in the back, and I told her that this is nothing compared to standing in front of a bunch of 8th graders. That's tough. This is a friendly crowd here. So, what a wonderful introduction. Thanks. So, please, everybody, have a seat. I don't want anybody getting faint. It is great to be in Rapid City. I'm so grateful to all of you. Just a couple of quick acknowledgments I'd like to make. First of all, Ivan Sorbel, who's the Executive Director of the Pine Ridge Chamber of Commerce and a Marine Corps veteran. We appreciate him. Thank you very much. Just a wonderful volunteer on behalf of our campaign, Brian Anderson, who's also a member of the National Guard and a veteran of the Afghanistan War. Thank you, Brian, for your service to our country. And I want to thank Eric Abramson, who's a member of the local school board and a wonderful supporter. Please give Eric a big round of applause. So this is a town hall meeting. We're going to take some time for questions, so I'm not going to give a really, really long speech. I know you're very disappointed that when a politician says he's going to try to limit himself. I've been running for president for about 15 months now, which means there are babies that have been born and are now walking and talking since we started this campaign. That's a long time. And when I started to run, there were some people who asked me, they said, you know, Barack, you're a relatively young man. Why are you running so soon? You can afford to wait. And I had to explain, listen, I'm not running because I think it's my turn or because I think it's somehow owed to me. I'm running because of what Dr. King called the fierce urgency of men. The fierce urgency of men. Because I think there's such a thing as being too late. And that hour is almost upon us. We are at a defining moment in our history. Our nation is involved in 2 wars. One war in Afghanistan that has to be won. Another war in Iraq that I believe should have never been authorized and should have never been won. But we also have struggles here at home, and Ida couldn't have been more eloquent in talking about those struggles. I mean, think about it. Here's somebody who you can tell is an outstanding teacher and who loves her children and who wants to be in the classroom. And the idea that she is going to have to give up her job because she can't afford to drive to work is an outrage. It is unacceptable. But there are stories like Ida's all across the country. I meet folks every day who are struggling day to day just to make ends meet. And part of the reason is because during George Bush's tenure, real wages and incomes for the average family have actually gone down. Even when the stock market was up, even when the economy was growing, ordinary people's real wages were going down. So no wonder at the end of each month, folks are having a tough time figuring out how to pay the bills. They've never paid more for health care. You've never paid more for a gallon of milk. You've never paid more for gas at the pump. And so it's harder to save. It's harder to retire. You're worried about whether you can hang on to the health insurance that you got. Jobs are being shipped overseas, and the jobs that replace them pay less than the jobs that have been lost. 47 million people without health insurance. Millions of our children, despite the slogans, are not getting the education they need to compete in the international economy. In such circumstances, we can't afford to wait. We can't wait to fix our schools. We can't wait to fix our healthcare system. We can't wait to bring an end to the war that is wasting our tax dollars. We can't wait. And so when I decided to run, it was because I felt we had to move this country in a different direction. But it was also because of you, the American people. Because I've got so much faith in you. I believe that the American people were tired of a politics that was all about tearing each other down, that they wanted a politics that was about lifting the country up. I believe that people didn't want to hear spin and PR. They wanted truth and facts and honesty from their elected officials. And most of all, I believe that the American people were tired of being divided, that they wanted to come together, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, young, old, male, female. Kind of campaign. If we tried to run a positive campaign that talked about the issues and reached out to ordinary grassroots Americans, that we could transform our politics. And I am here to report that 15 months later, after speaking to hundreds of thousands of people and shaking hundreds of thousands of hands and kissing hundreds of babies, I am here to report that my bet has paid off, because everywhere I go, the American people are standing up and they're saying enough is enough. We want something new. We want something different. It's time to turn the page. And that's why I'm running for president of the United States of America. Campaign went on a long time. Maybe you can't bring the party together. You know, the Clinton supporters, the Obama supporters, they're going after each other. Let me tell you something. First of all, we're going to come together because Senator Clinton is an outstanding public servant. She has run a magnificent race. And she is going to be working on behalf of the Democratic Party, as I will be. The other thing is, whatever differences Senator Clinton and I may have, they pale in comparison to the differences we've got with the other side. No matter what else happens, we know one thing, and that is when you go to the polling place in November, the name George W. Bush will not be on the ballot. Won't be on the ballot. Because as much as I admire John McCain and his service to our country, and he is a genuine American hero, the fact of the matter is John McCain is running for George Bush's third term, and we can't afford another 4 years of George Bush politics.